So, welcome back to Majesty Mike, everybody. Today we have Kyle, aka Millennial Kyle, on the pod. We are so excited. Welcome to the pod, Kyle.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I have been such a big fan of yours. So I think we'll just start it off by saying, where did you get the idea, or what was your first video?
The first one was completely random. So I think like a lot of creators in 2020, I'm like, all right, let me try it out. I have to see what the buzz is about. Let me just check it out. So the first, I think 3 or 4 about my cat. So do you remember the scene from Holes where the guy says, "Keep on digging," and she's like digging in the fields or whatever?
Yeah.
I did that with the litter box, and that one was like my first viral video, and I was like in shock. I didn't know what to do. My heart was racing. I'm like, okay, is this what viral is? We're onto something. So I did that one, and then it just kind of bloomed into nostalgia. I'm like, I threw a roller rink video in there, a roller rink post, and then yeah, it skyrocketed. It was insane.
Immediately, like immediate success, immediate fan base.
No, it probably took at least, I want to say, a year. So 2021 was the biggest year, I'd say. I think that's when I kind of focused more on nostalgia and millennial content.
Right.
And then the body roll and high kick, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, you got to do that again. What's that body roll? What's the high kick?" So then I said, "All right, I have to put this in each post. This is a must." And yeah, that's been like the signature moves in each one.
Is amazing. And I guess I just
Mhm.
want to ask before we get all into your content, what were you doing before social media? And is this your full-time job, or is this more of a hobby for you?
Definitely part-time. So before I did any content creation, and I still work at my full-time finance job, but I actually went to school for meteorology. So I was going to go into broadcast
You were
meteorology.
gonna be a weatherman.
I was going to be a weatherman. So that since I was like 9 years old, that was the dream. That's what I wanted to do. I said, this is going to happen. I got my degree, and it just didn't work out. So I got a full-time job at Whole Foods. Absolutely loved it. 20% discount. That's
Ooh,
that's an instant yes on liquor too. So liquor, all the food, everything.
Damn.
that's amazing.
So I stayed there for a couple of years, went to finance, and then 2020 I downloaded TikTok, and that was it. I was like, I'm sold. I love creating the content.
That's amazing.
So, do you love TikTok more than Reels on Instagram, or what do you prefer?
I think I switched. So I
Yeah.
used to love TikTok. I think I plateaued a little bit on TikTok, and in the past year, 2022, I've leaned more towards Reels, but I post everything on both because I'm like TikTok is where I kind of started out. But I've gotten used to both now. I kind of post them both simultaneously.
And so a little off topic, but can you tell us how you met your husband? Like, I want the whole story. Like, tell me like everything.
Was it a grinder? I'm still on grinder, so you need to let me
No,
know.
Grinder was like 2012, 13. So it was like a couple months before I met Kale. I was like, I don't know what I was doing. I'm like in college in New Hampshire. I'm like, all right, I got Grinder, I got OK Cupid. Let me try it out. So we met actually on OK Cupid.
Oh, I've never heard of
Yeah,
that one.
yes. I don't even think anybody. They had one commercial, I think, a year ago. But anyway, that was it. That was it. Nothing else. So we talked for a couple of months. We went on a date in Boston, but I had not met anybody online in 2013 before or before that. So I'm like, let me bring at least 3 friends just in case he's like a stalker and I am gonna get murdered and taken. So okay, you guys go to the movies, we'll go on a date. We went to a pub in Boston that's now closed, but it just we kind of clicked instantly. We were there for hours talking, and we just knew right off the bat that we were meant for each other. We just became best friends very quick. So I want to say we dated for 4 years, and then we got engaged. Proposed to me in Boston at the Boston Common,
Wow.
which was very cute. He got down on one knee, and I was in shock. I just kept screaming, "What? What do you mean? What?" And then he pulls out his own ring and says, "And I got a black one, just like my heart." I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right, okay." So it was very cute. But yeah, we've been together 10 years, which is crazy. Married since 2017.
That's
That's
awesome.
amazing. Do you guys see any kids in
Mhm.
your future?
We do. I think we want to buy a house first.
I
Just
thought you were
kinda
gonna say buy a kid.
Yeah, we're gonna go buy a kid. We're gonna go shop tomorrow. Um, no, we definitely do. We're thinking of adoption, hopefully in a couple of years after we buy a house. So
That
we want to do that first.
that's awesome. And can we expect to
Yeah.
see a little bit more of your husband on your social media?
I get very excited when he is like, all right, I want to be in this next post. I'm like, all right, stop everything. We're doing this. He likes to pick very select ones, but yeah, we got to bring him in more.
Okay. Yeah, I would
Absolutely.
love to see him. Does he have his own social media or he's a little more low key?
He has started a couple TikToks that he's Kale Burglar. So it's his last name. We hyphenated our names. His last name is Ham. So instead of the Hamburglar, he's Kale Burglar because his first name's Kale.
Okay,
So
that's funny.
he loves to bake. So he's thrown a couple like baking TikToks out there. He's like
Okay.
a pristine baker.
Love it.
That's amazing.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm curious more so about the content side of things. If we get back to your content creation, how long? First of all, I fucking love every single one of your TikToks, reels. I can relate. I'm sure you can too, Mira, to every single one.
Sliding down a mozzarella stick.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, yes.
But how long does it like take you to actually produce something like that? Like your
I
TikToks
think
aren't very long, right?
the probably average maybe 15 to 20. The filming part is very quick for me. I'm a crazy person. I like rip out the ring light. I have the green screen, the stands. I'm like, Kale's like, oh, yep, he's setting up again. I move it, push everything aside. I film in like maybe 20 to 30 minutes, but the editing usually takes like maybe 30, 45. If it's like the mozzarella stick one,
Yeah.
that one took a long time because I mean, to get my body to slide down that thing, yeah, that I had to like prop myself up on a chair, legs in the air, and then just like edit myself falling down. It was insane. Yeah, I'd probably say from start to finish, maybe like 30 to 45 minutes on average.
Okay, that's not that bad. I was thinking more so like an
Hmm.
hour, like longer. But I guess that's really decent. And my next question was, but I guess you kind of answered it there. Does your husband help out at all during production of your reels and TikToks? I mean, obviously he's gonna try and be in more, but
I'll have him. So a couple, I think there was one recent, the Parmesan cheese one.
Mhm.
I thought he helped me like sprinkle the cheese overhead to make it look like it was falling down on me, like the rain. So he's definitely like the best prop guy. And then we're in public, and I'm like, I need to get something. I need to get content. He's always my camera guy. So he definitely helps in the background production.
I always wonder whoever the hell like creates content. I'm like, who is filming that for you?
Or the
Just a random
couples.
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, or the couples who do like a post every single day, like making out all
Yes.
over the city, and I'm like, who is taking the
Taking
photo?
pictures.
Yeah,
Literally. Can you just take this really quick? We're just gonna make out if you don't mind. I'm like,
right.
oh, okay, sure.
And
Just trying to go to
also,
eat. All right,
people
bye.
need to calm down. Like, I know it was just Valentine's Day, but like, people need to really settle down with the PDA posts and the poems, and
Yep.
it's a lot. But speaking of Valentine's Day, what did you guys do?
We hung out. We just chilled. His birthday's the day before. So
Oh,
he's like, this year I really want to do a brunch. So we did brunch on Sunday for his birthday.
was it
We
a drag
got some
brunch?
desserts, hung out. No, we went to my first drag brunch in Florida for a bachelorette in July, and it was amazing.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
But no, it was just a regular
He
brunch.
kept it classy. Okay.
I
He kept
wouldn't.
it classy.
I
He kept it classy.
Nice.
Yes, yes.
Oh my God. I
But
want
yeah,
to
it was
know
just chill.
where you come up with the ideas. Like, do they just come to you, or do you like literally take time to brainstorm? And just side note, I think I sent this video to like 20 people. The one where you were like looking at a menu, pretending you don't know what you want to get, but like you had memorized it like 2 weeks before. And I was like, that's everyone I know, sending it to them. Yeah,
Yep.
I loved it.
That was my in-laws were at that table too. So when I was looking, I was talking to them. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to pretend to talk to you. I'm going to hold the menu and then edit it after. So that was hilarious. That one really blew up. I had no intention of that one. I just kind of let me just throw this random restaurant one out there, and it did amazing.
Right.
That
So
one was
do
cool.
you brainstorm on it ahead of time, or does it just kind of like come to you and then you film it?
It depends. Some of the food ones I've done, like the recent ones, were extremely spontaneous. Like, oh my God, Kale, I should go just film me like body rolling on a mozzarella stick, like random, super spontaneous. I
Right.
think a couple throughout the week I'll plan out. It usually starts out with me picking a song. So if I hear a lyric, I'm like, okay, I have to use this. I'll pair that with the situation, but I usually like when I come up with the situation first and then pair the song after. I
Gotcha.
think that's for me, it's a little bit easier.
Have you eaten a toaster strudel today?
I wish.
Okay.
We're gonna be actually no, honestly, tonight we are gonna have one. But like that's our dessert tomorrow night. We still have the box in the freezer.
Are you talking about his toaster strudel real?
Yeah.
I hate that you brought that up. Well, I'm like great minds think alike. That is my favorite one.
Really?
Because I have a bone to pick with all those companies. They never give enough frosting in the boxes.
Correct.
Never.
They gave less. So when I filmed it, I was like, this is like a quarter of the toaster strudel. I need all 6 for this one toaster strudel. What the hell?
You know where I heard somebody was having that rant too, and I'm like, I totally fucking agree. Absolutely hate them. They should put more icing in the packages. They were like, they should sell the icing on the side. They would make an absolute killing. And I was like, wow, that is a fantastic idea.
You could just buy icing
Honestly.
though.
No. Their icing is I don't know what the hell they put in it, but it's very good.
You know what
Kyle,
it
you
is?
could
Their
tweet
icing's
them.
like thinner. It's a little thinner and
Yeah.
it like comes out easier.
Yeah.
You should tweet them. You have like a
know.
huge cult following.
And sell the icing separately so I could buy more.
Honestly, I'm going to just go ahead and take credit for Kim Kardashian's kids cozy collection. Hand to God, I messaged them before they had it when I ordered it for myself and said, hey, you guys need to do this for kids. Like my kids would love these robes. Literally like, and they messaged me back. So it's not like imaginary in my mind. And they're like, we're going to pass this up the chain. Thanks. 6 months later, they launched it. And I'm like, hello, royalty. Or I would have settled for a free
Royalty.
one. I mean, they should have sent me just a free one, I think.
I think so.
I think you need a full PR package because of that.
Totally.
You need
Kim,
all the work.
put me on the
hello.
Anyway.
Please.
And I just thought I'd throw it out
I love
there.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I've seen you've had a couple sponsored posts. What has been your favorite sponsored post that you've done and, company you've partnered with?
Of all time was Sony Pictures for the nanny. Her 60th birthday back in September.
Mhm.
So the pitch was they wanted me to recreate somehow incorporating the intro. And I said, can I just recreate every character, recreate the whole intro, and then edit myself and just in like the cartoon background? They were like, that sounds amazing.
Oh.
Went to Savers that day, found all the outfits. I got a bouffant wig. I did the works. So that was probably the biggest editing production. That took like days, but it was a lot of fun. I'm like a freak when it comes to editing. I like really enjoy it. I love doing it. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Do you have a personal account? And can
On
we
Instagram?
have it?
I don't.
This
You
is your only
don't?
account.
The one I have, if you scroll all the way down, that's all my personal stuff. I just kind of morphed it into one. And because I didn't expect it to kind of blow up. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to keep it all in one now.
Okay.
So if you scroll, you'll see some real numbers from like 2013. So I thought it was
real them.
Instagram savvy.
Okay, gotcha.
If you could pick, which social media influencer would you want to partner with?
Ooh, that's really hard.
Do you have any favorites?
Oh, well, I did meet a nostalgia influencer, Kate Steinberg. She was fantastic. We met up in Chicago, so I would definitely love to. We did collab last year on a post, so I'd love to collab with her again. Yeah, that's really hard. There are so many out there. I'm so bad when it comes to like, what's your favorite this, because I like so many things.
Yeah.
And then when I go,
we have a
I'm
game
like,
for
I
you
don't know.
later. We have a game for you
Oh,
later.
God. Oh God. All right, we'll see how I do.
Coffee in almost every reel, iced coffee. You're clearly obsessed. What is your favorite iced coffee brand? Is it Starbucks or Dunkin'?
So I'm kind of tied to Dunkin' in the sense that I've just grown up with it. For Dunkin', so I have for Starbucks and I have my two favorite drinks at both. Dunkin', I would say, is the cold brew.
Yes.
Only one pump of syrup because I can't do sweet coffee. I need it extra strong and not as sweet.
Mhm.
And always oat milk or almond milk if they don't have oat.
Yes.
But for Starbucks, it's the shaken espresso. I'm like obsessed with it. The brown sugar, and then there's another one too from Starbucks, but that's shaken espresso. But it's like my go-to.
How much
Every time.
money do you think you spend on iced coffee a month?
It's crazy. It's probably a lot better than it was like before I did content. My husband and I would get iced coffees at least every other day because we would commute in together when I went into the office. So every other day we're buying like $5-6 iced coffees, and then it turns into like a couple $100. But I think I've gotten a lot better because I usually only buy them. I save the iced coffee for Friday posts, and that's when I usually buy them. But then the weekend I'll throw in maybe one or two extra, maybe $60, maybe, which is
Okay.
actually isn't that bad of a
It's
month.
not bad. Yeah.
Who is the most famous or most excited you were of someone who's liked one of your videos?
Or followed.
Whitney Cummings is followed.
Ooh,
I
I
Ooh.
love
really
her.
like her. Yes, that was really, really fun. And recently Jesse James Decker, she just followed me, so that was pretty cool.
Do they
But
reach out to you at all?
I DM'd Jesse James Decker. I just commented on one of her stories and we went back and forth, which was really cool. But I would say the one that I kind of jumped was Lance Bass on TikTok.
No
And
way.
him and Nick Carter both commented on the same post from last year. So I did I forget what NSYNC song I used, but they both commented on it. I was like, oh my God, Kale, look at, they both commented. What do I do? How do I react to this?
Oh my God, that would be so exciting.
That's pretty cool.
Hmm.
That's pretty cool. Do people recognize you in public, especially locally?
Gotten a couple, yeah, especially around like Southern Mass and Boston.
Mhm.
I think the most people that recognized me was Lady Gaga.
What?
We went to her concert in the summer.
That's amazing.
That was incredible. But I was like, oh my God, he's the body roller guy. And I'm so awkward in public and I feel so bad. I'm like, oh my, Kale's like, no, you were fine. I'm like, no, but I could have done better. I felt like I was weird, but it's still very surreal.
That's cool. Did she invite you to backstage or to anything?
Oh, I would pass away. I would simply pass away
Pass
if
away.
that happened.
I
Could you
saw a story of someone, maybe it was the Lady Gaga concert, storying, being like, "Oh my God, it's Millennial Kyle" or whatever. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah,
That's awesome.
Isn't that exciting? Does stuff like that
It's
does it make
so
you
cool.
uncomfortable or do you love it?
So the first time I got recognized, I was very uncomfortable because I was so thrown off guard. It obviously had never happened before, but now it's rewarding because it's like it feels good that what I put into it, people really like. I love making people happy.
What do you do with hate comments? Because we've gotten some, and I just don't know what to do. I just like ignore.
Some of them I leave, some of them I have to like remove because I'm like, this is just I don't want this on the page.
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
it depends, but some of the DMs are weird. I've gotten a couple weird DMs.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
Do you ever
I don't know, it's
respond?
gonna lead. Some of them I do, but the problem is once you respond, you're connected
Yeah.
now on Instagram.
That's
So
true.
I got to
That's
be careful.
true.
Some of the hidden requests that get thrown in there are very weird.
Mm. If you could change anything about Reels or like TikTok, what would it be? Like, is there anything that's really annoying when you're recording or filming? Or, I mean, I guess you have the power to edit because you can edit yourself.
So it's tough for me because I use CapCut. It's
Mhm.
that separate app. Aside from the actual Reel or TikTok, I think it's easier for me that way because I used to just edit directly on the app and it was hard to kind of splice clips. So it's a lot easier that way.
I'm just curious because a couple people we've talked to, especially from Netflix, a bunch of the reality stars over there, they always have like yearly meetups, or like, after show, they all get together. Do you collaborate with any influencers or like attend any influencer parties or like conferences, stuff like that?
I wouldn't say conferences, but Gillette Stadium. I've gone to a couple of their suite shows for concerts, and that was like an influencer event, so that was pretty fun. But I've been to a couple like local, especially we had a new restaurant down the street, Pink U.
Mhm.
They make mochi donuts, and they had a little
Ooh,
soft opening, and then invited influencers over, and it was amazing.
that's
I'd say like
cool.
probably small events.
I think you are responsible for adding a lot of confusion to people's playlists. Mine most of all. It's like it's all over the map now, completely all over the map. But what are the three songs that the three most recent songs you listened to?
Three most recent. I would say recently Maggie Rogers. We went to her concert, so I basically blasted her whole album. So I would say "Want Want" by Maggie Rogers. "Lady Marmalade" by Christina Aguilera, Maya, and Pink. And then what's the third one? It had to have been Backstreet Boys, or it might have been Hoobastank. I think it was Hoobastank.
Okay.
That was definitely it.
So if you had to choose, what's your favorite genre of music and decade?
I think it's got to be pop. It's pop in its early 2000s. It's a absolute yes.
Right. And what about 80s? Where do you fall on the scale with 80s music?
I love Whitney Houston. I could go off all the time on Whitney Houston. That's probably what started the body roll was 80s Whitney Houston.
Okay.
So I could get down with that.
Yeah, I grew up with a lot of 80s music. My mom used to blast it all. Shania Twain, Faith Hill, all those
My mom
girls.
was always Jewel. What about Jewel?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jewel is big in my parents' household. My mom was obsessed with Jewel.
What's your mom's favorite song?
Ooh. That's hard. I would say what's her favorite art? She loves Celine Dion.
Of course.
She loves Jewel. She loves Shania. She's big into the late 90s. But then she also loves 70s. She grew up in the 70s. She likes, I think Bread was one of her favorite ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is really random, but I love your accent. Can you hear his accent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
Are you
Once
Italian?
I start sipping the drink. Portuguese and Italian.
Oh,
little bit of both.
I knew it. I can
Mhm.
always spot an Italian. I don't know why.
But see, I thought I was more Portuguese until I took the DNA results. It's like, no, you're actually more Irish and French Canadian. Went, oh, okay. All right.
French Canadian? What?
French Canadian. Yep. I
So,
thought it was like a tiny piece of it. They're like, nope, you're like 30%. I'm like, okay.
damn.
So do you have a bunch of
Mhm.
siblings?
I have two siblings.
Okay.
So the funny part is, so my husband has two siblings. They're all K's. So they're Carl, Kelly, Kyle, Kale, and Cal. My family is Kenny, Kim, Kyle, Kevin, Kurt.
Wow. That's
so
so
amazing.
cool.
I love it. It's
So
Kardashian.
That was one of the messages in OkCupid when we met, because we both were like, he's like, oh, my family's all K's too. There were a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this guy's definitely a stalker. He knows me. So I'm gonna bring backup on the stage just in case I no longer exist. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's
So-
wild.
Just to rewind a little bit, do you want to tell us a little bit about your family, but also your childhood? Like, give us a glimpse into like young Kyle.
Young Kyle, closeted gay, loved to put on a show. I'd say I came from a really, really good household. My parents were really good at making memories for us. Like
Aw.
my mom, we'd run in the snow to go get movies down the street, or we'd always go up to New Hampshire in the summer. So I always kind of go back to like summer vacations with my family. And they always just made it like a comforting household for me.
That's so
So that's why I knew
nice.
when I came out, it was very easy to come out to them because it's like they already knew.
Aw.
That's so
Mhm.
refreshing to hear. Not just that you had a happy childhood, but that you like acknowledge the effort that was put into like, your parents making you guys happy memories.
Mhm.
Hmm. It's the small things, just the small memories that it sticks with you for the rest of your life, which is cool.
That's true. I remember talking to somebody who was saying that from their childhood, they remember like the smell of like the wet grass while waiting for the bus in the morning.
Yeah?
Like just the most
Yep.
random little things.
That's like the field trip day. Field trip day
Oh,
has a smell,
fuck yeah.
right?
Field trip.
Like cloudy, the mist, the grass, the smell of like the leather seats on the bus. It's all just one. They need to make that a candle.
They
Bath and Body
do.
Works, we need this.
They do.
What was your experience like in school? Did you enjoy it? Did you have a lot of friends?
I had some friends. I was definitely quiet, especially kind of leading up to high school. But then high school, I joined the high school band, and that's when I met my core group of friends. So
Okay.
I had the cummerbund, the feather hat, the whole thing. So yeah, I'd say I was definitely more quiet in school, but I had a couple friends.
And I have to ask, have people kind of come out of the woodworks that you've gone to school with or met in your life that even you weren't necessarily friends with, now that you have a little bit of fame and, you're an influencer, suddenly wanting to like be friends again?
Yeah, I wouldn't say like DMs, but I definitely checked like people you may know on Instagram, and all these people that I never really talked to. I'm like, oh, I know this person. They follow me now, but I
Yeah.
didn't really know them in high school, which is crazy.
Right.
So yeah, it's wild how life makes a turn.
Totally.
So we have a lot of reality stars coming on and who have been on already. Are you into reality TV? And what's your favorite show, if any?
Yeah, see, I'm more into like the documentary, the murder documentaries.
Are you a horror
the-
type of guy, like a horror movie type of guy?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
My husband and I were the same. We love thriller. It's a solid thriller on like a Friday night. Perfect.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Have you
Perfection.
watched Inheritance on Netflix? My husband and I just watched. It's not really a horror, but more of a thriller.
Is it like one of those psychological thrillers? That like it's
Kinda.
like unsettling?
Starring the girl who's in, her name is slipping my mind, but she's the star of Emily in Paris.
Oh, what is her name? I can see her eyebrows and the dark hair.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Everybody knows who
She
we're
is.
talking about right now, but I forget her
Yes.
name too.
I'm so bad with it. I know faces, but names,
Same.
I'm the worst.
I
The
highly
worst.
recommend it. Okay, so you have to tell me because I'm really into like, I was literally watching a horror podcast, murder podcast just before coming here.
You love that shit.
I love it. What's your favorite? I like to watch Kendall Ray.
So for podcasts, have you listened to Crime Junkie
Yes,
with Ashley Flowers?
of course.
They're kind of my go-to podcast for crime, I would say. I just like the way they tell a story. I think I always love like listening to it. It's like the dead of night, you're driving home, you're terrified.
That's so
They kinda-
creepy.
they can set the mood. I know, and I'm just like by myself, gripping the wheel, like, nope, I'm gonna keep going. I need to know what happens.
I totally agree.
yeah.
What is one of the like murders that have really like stuck in your mind, or like one that you were like particularly invested in?
One that was really creepy was have you heard of the one that Kristen Chenoweth did a documentary on it? It was the Oklahoma murders at the camp.
Oh my
The
God,
girls-
the young girls in the tent.
Yes.
Yes.
Sounds terrifying.
And they think it was the I don't know if he was a local guy that had like a cave down the street or whatever.
What
but
the fuck?
They don't know for sure. I'm like, no, I don't want to go camping now. I'm all set.
Oh my God,
But
I remember watching
the
that. That was
unsettling
terrifying.
camping. Because
Yep.
camping, it's like you're just in a tent. You can't lock yourself in.
Yeah.
Anyone can get in.
That's why I never liked camping, because it was always like a bear could literally step on you and you would die.
Being murdered is like the least of my worries with camping, but
Camping?
like still don't want to do it.
What is your most? What the fuck are you concerned about then with
I
camping?
mean, like peeing in a bucket.
Bucket?
Or whatever.
Just in the middle of the woods. Like, don't mind me.
Yeah, camping's
You
not
gotta
my
find one
thing.
up the bathroom.
Okay,
fair.
this is gonna be really gross. Should I say it?
Yes.
Okay, it's
You
not.
have
Yeah.
We had to do camp.
Squat?
No. We had to camp at school this one time. I actually ended up leaving and sleeping in the gym. Because like I snuck into the gym and slept there. But before that, when I was going to potentially pee in the woods, I found
What?
a bloody pad.
Ew.
And I was like, I'm
Ooh.
out.
Disgusting.
I'm like, I'm out. This is not for me. I went and slept in the gym, but yeah,
It's over. It's done. It's
That's
done.
revolting.
it was really gross. I'm sorry, guys.
I would have.
So the last camping experience we had, we brought home fleas.
Oh no.
And my cat got them. So she wasn't medicated because we're like, oh, she's an indoor cat, she's fine. But we never thought we'd bring home fleas from like a campground.
Oh shit.
And we brought them, and they were here for like a month, and I was literally vacuuming like twice a day.
Oh.
I was like, Kyle, didn't you just vacuum? Like, I'm going again. I'm spraying again. I don't care if I don't see them.
shit.
I need to.
Yeah,
Fleas?
I think we've gotten a little off topic. Let's get back to
Yeah.
Let's
Now
get
we're talking about fleas and camping.
let's get back to you, Kyle. What is the most memorable concert you've ever been to?
Honestly, recently with Lady Gaga, she put on an incredible show, and I think it was because we were supposed to see her in 2020, so the build up to it was just gradual. So that by the time we got there, it was everything we could have hoped for. So yeah, 10 out of 10.
Did she do anything crazy or wild?
No, she was just her typical Gaga self.
Mm.
She knew how to put on a show.
I do love her.
What's your favorite Lady Gaga song?
I know it might sound cliche. I love Born This Way. I know it sounds cliche.
Yes.
I know, but it's like I will get down to that song every single time. That and what's the one where she talks about Nebraska in the music video Nebraska.
Oh,
You and I.
You and I, yeah. I love that
Yes.
song too.
It's just like a powerful jam. I'm like, yeah, repeat it again.
I feel like if we were all in a club, we would just have the best time together. Us, like all.
Do
three
you
of us.
like to club?
Do you like clubbing? Do you party?
20s, yes. 30s, I'm like, let's just chill. Let's just go home at like 9:30, 10 o'clock. That's
So
it.
you never
done.
hit the club?
Any time?
Oh.
No?
We did 20s, yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, we went out.
Okay.
But-
nice.
Yeah, now I'm just like, I get tired too easily now. Like, what's wrong with me?
So what is your biggest pet peeve just in life?
Ooh, I hate when. Oh, that's a tough one.
That
I
is
hate
a
when
toughie.
people lie when I know they're lying too, especially just like through text.
Mhm.
I can't stand it. Or in person too. I think in person or text, I just can't stand lying.
Do you call it out?
I'm more, I'm very kind of like passive aggressive.
Yep.
Kale's more blunt. I'm more passive aggressive. So like that's how we balance out. So I'd say kind of like try to get to the point, and it takes a while, but I eventually get there.
Yeah. I feel like I'm a little more passive aggressive too, but since living in America, I feel like it's made me a little bit more aggressive. Like I just to
Yeah.
survive here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like that's
you
more
kind of
we
have to be.
Canadians.
Okay, so here's our twist. So usually we do a fast five, this or that. But since you were coming on, we decided to switch it. So we're gonna give you two artists, and let's say
Okay.
we would give you tickets to only one of their shows. Who would you pick? And you only can
Okay.
pick one. And it can be like in their heyday. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like today. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Are you
Okay, let's
following?
do it.
Does anyone follow
I'm,
that?
I'm following.
Okay.
I'm following.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I
All
think.
right. So Chris is gonna hit you with it.
Alrighty. Ready? Christina Aguilera or Pink?
Pink.
Mariah Carey or J-Lo?
J-Lo.
Taylor Swift or Katy Perry?
Katy Perry.
Celine Dion or Shania Twain? That's a tough one.
Oh, I'm gonna go with Celine Dion.
Backstreet Boys
Hard, though.
or NSYNC?
Oh, God, of course. I'm gonna go in sync. I was more of an NSYNC guy.
Damn.
You
Yeah.
didn't even hesitate.
Yeah.
You were on it.
I know. That was easy. That was easy. I got that.
I'm surprised.
So do you both like Backstreet Boys more or NSYNC more?
I think I'm more Backstreet
What's the
Boys
battle?
myself.
I think Backstreet
Backstreet
Boys.
Boys?
Yeah.
I will say, I don't know if you've ever seen Celine Dion in concert.
You're
but
obsessed.
I just grew up listening to her. My mom was always blasting Celine Dion, but I saw her in her Vegas residency, and it was like phenomenal. And then I saw her a few years later, once her husband had passed away, and they curated a new tour for her, and I did not like it, honestly. I mean, I love
Really?
her, but I feel like her husband like was really the driving force on her team to keep she's the show. She doesn't need all like the fuss and the muss. Like she can stand there and sing and
got
it's
the
good
voice.
enough. Totally. And then with the new team, this is my speculation. I mean, I don't know, but I'm assuming her new team, it was so like poppy and like, you know, what do they say? Like seizure alert, you know, and I was like, she doesn't need it. Like she doesn't need it.
I think you need to DM them. Be
I
like,
know. I should.
You'll get it changed. You already got the hymns changed. I mean, hey,
Are you hoping to turn this into a full-time job? Like, would you? Or is this more of a hobby?
I've been asked that a lot. I think right now I like to stick with a hobby, I think, for now, because I like my full-time job, but I wouldn't say no in the future. I think it could definitely blossom into something bigger too,
Yeah.
because I love doing it.
And I guess the last thing I wanted to say was, what advice would you have for anyone who's trying to be an influencer or just get into this space?
I think the most important thing, and I think everyone's at least experienced it at least once, you have to not always focus on the views and the likes. It's got to just be strictly with show who you are, what do you want to post, what's your audience like, what do they like, and if it doesn't do great one day, that's okay. It's still a post that you made that you loved to make. So it's not always about the likes and the views.
Totally.
That's good. I like it.
Well, is there anything you want the audience to know about you? Like, do you want
I
any
would say-
secrets you want to reveal?
No secrets, but I would say what you get on camera, honestly, is me outside of work. Like the body rolling thing is literally me 24/7. I have like work Tourette's where I need to jump up out of the seat and just body roll, and I'll literally do that like 5 times a day. So that's literally me.
I think you do come off really authentic, which is probably why you've grown such a big audience and people are so drawn to you. And Chris and I are just genuinely huge fans. So we want to thank you so much for popping on to chat with us.
Thank you. No, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.